Hello and welcome back everybody to episode 8 of my Nomad series. Get into it. To start off with, this is going to be a commentary for the entirety of the episode because my mic didn't record for any of it. Okay, well that's hilarious. The mic just cut out again. But I now know what the cause is. So I did get a new keyboard in the end. And it turns out, if I plug the new keyboard in, it doesn't like being used through a USB hub. It's not even touching the keyboard, it cuts out. It really doesn't like it. It also explains why I could never customize any of the buttons on the keyboard. Or at least get the lighting to actually stay, because the keyboard was getting interrupted constantly. Or the mic was getting interrupted constantly. Just the keyboard kept working. Is why I haven't noticed any issues with my computer for the last week or so. Anyway, I started off by just simply clearing out my inventories of interactable items, or parts to be specific. And obviously any other parts which tend to stack in ones. And I moved the items that are interactable to the output chest, and the parts which aren't interactable to a chest that is in the back. Just because they didn't connect to the concept, and I probably will want to use them at some point. So that's maybe mean I had them. So just having them on hand back means I have them still. Next up on the list is, well, instead of it is nice and all, but it is a little annoying around that little delay between getting up and down. So I decided I wanted to put a seat in. So I just grabbed an office seat. Obviously because it is one of the smallest interactable seats there is. So 3x3x1. And that one height is actually going to be pretty useful for what I'm going to try to do. Essentially that's going to be at the very top there, and that little cart I'm going to make. Once I get up there, clearly. That's the other issue. Other issue is this elevator doesn't work well when it's slanted. You can see I do fall off. And I'm going to weld the seat in. With the seat welded in, as you can see, it's pretty flush with the floor, so it doesn't stick up like an actual seat would. On top of that, it obviously looks a little derpy when I'm in it, because I'm upside down in the wall. But it's just maybe a quick way I can just quickly go like interact up there instantly, and I'm going to just run along. If you watched the last episode, you probably know I actually went out of metal, which is why my mobile base isn't actually finished either. I went out of metal, and that is mostly the main material I'm making it with. So, as I don't have a mine yet, I decided to reconnect the drills to the front of the mobile base. And I'll just quickly go mine a rock. Obviously I chose a rock node, which was actually on flat ground, instead of one of the ones on the bump, or all hills, because they're a nightmare deal. Now if you're curious of what the physics settings I'm on, because at the time, I hadn't noticed, but I was actually on advanced. As you'll probably start noticing now, my wheels got very floppy. Wondering why I was on advanced? My best guess is I was messing around with physics settings and testing them. I hope I haven't been playing them since the last time I did a video on testing it, because that'd been a few weeks ago. But yeah, this is pretty much what it used to look like when you had a big vehicle. And this scene is going on a lot longer than I would like. This is the point where I decided to actually check, and sure enough, I was actually on advanced. So yeah, I quickly switched back to smart, and as you'll be able to tell now, the wheels actually do a lot better. It's quite interesting. Obviously it's a large creation, and that sort of physics wasn't really fixed, so I'm assuming that the game isn't lagging out on all these small bits around means it can actually pay attention to my actual vehicle more, which was quite nice because it meant I could actually steer. I was still getting stuck on the rocks which were too high up and were obviously behind in my vehicle, behind the drills, but that made life a lot easier. Quite nice. Eventually I got to a point where I was just waiting for resources to refine, so I decided to do a slight upgrade to my mobile base and actually connect the inventories from one side to another. At the moment they're not connected, but this is when I found out I never connected the second refinery. And this is where an hour of that entire session actually led to. Was me fixing that. So, wondering why it was so hard? Well, it was 2 blocks off from the chest. which meant that I can't connect directly to them with a conveyor. And I was out of circuit boards pretty much at this point, so a couple ruined ones had to happen to actually get enough conveyor tubes in it. But while I got a bit of time, I also wanted to make sure I had the gas canister be the priority output for the craft bot. Why? Because whenever I make fuel, it'll go directly in it, and I won't have to fuss around with moving it. I did find some gold crates though. So, an epic garment box. Again, not sure I'm going to use that for. Yes, at this point you can see I'm actually testing if my solution has the gas canister be the primary output. It did not on this first attempt, but I just simply rotated the chest. So its left and right output were in the opposite ways essentially. And that actually led to it prioritizing the gas canister instead, which was very handy. And obviously after a bit I finished up connecting the conveyors to both sides. And I was out of circuit boards again. I did find another gold crate, which did have a gas engine, which does save me 5 circuit boards later on. Anyway, at this point, I obviously went to the hay maze, and I gave myself a little challenge. And it's actually quite fitting. I'm probably going to release this on Monday now. So, yeah, I gave myself a challenge, get to the middle and get out the other side. I don't really ever recall actually ever doing the maze. I think I've always jumped over the top. So I decided to have a little fun. This has been about an hour and a half in at this point. Yeah, I spent a lot of time fixing the inventory system. Yeah, just simply did the maze. Made sure to turn my HUD off so I could actually increase the brightness of this afterwards. So yeah, because obviously it was night. It feels like it was always nights when I tried recording this game. Most of the time I tend not to be at night, but today's not really today's sessions anymore, but it was pretty much night always. By the time I got done messing around with things, by the time I got done with actually fixing things or getting resources, it was night. Anyway, there's the end of the maze. I was very happy. Anyway, on to something more important. The miner / forestry vehicle. I don't really know what to call it, but it probably is going to do more mining and forestry. But again, I'm out of circuit boards. And I ideally want a controller. Okay, start with I made a frame just so I have an idea of dimensions for my miner / forestry. I really don't know what to call this thing. But yeah, as you'll see in a moment, that I have a very interesting idea. I don't know if it's going to work well in the end. Basically, as you can see, there's 2 sets of driver seats. The idea is it'll drive one way, and that'll be the side that does mining, and then I can flip it around to be able to drive the other way and focus on forestry without mixing up controls. I could technically do it with one seat, but then obviously if I tried using the saws in the back, forward and backwards be reversed, and left to right be reversed as well. So I didn't want to deal with that, and I figured it'd be interesting to have it sort of like swivel the seats around like it's switching directions. But yeah, by this point, no, this is pretty much where I could get to. I'm out of circuit boards at this point completely, and it was getting quite late, so I decided to call it there for the day. And I think during next session I'll probably do an off-camera one, or I will actually start next episode off by going to the what was the name of the district? The large chemical plant, I think is what people generally refer to it as. It has an actual name, I don't remember it. I'll go there because there's tons of tote bots, and hopefully I can get a lifetime supply of circuit boards on there, which would make life a lot simpler. Obviously it's a much shorter video today, but yeah, until next time, I'll see you then, and goodbye.